And I spoke with God. God told me that I had to return. And I said, no. I said, no way. I liked what I was experiencing there. The love was something like I'd never felt before. The sense of family was more than I'd ever experienced in this life. And so, and I know that this body that I had left behind was in terrible disrepair. It was in bad shape. And so I didn't want to return to that whatsoever. I didn't. In fact, it felt like, how can the totality of me even fit into that body? So I said, no. I argued. And the voice of God came back, and it just resonated. It was just like dripping with love. It was just, and it said to me, no, you must return. You have a purpose. And when it told me I had a purpose, that word just seemed to really resonate through my being. And it was, when you're there, I mentioned earlier that you seem to be connected to all beings that ever were, all beings that ever will be. And so you have a knowing beyond what we're capable of. And so when I heard purpose, I understood it. And when I understood it, I had no choice but to accept it. And when I accepted that, that's when I found myself outside my body, and I was watching my body in the waves as it was being tumbled and tossed. And I saw how the wreckage had come and wrapped the bow line around this arm. And another set of waves hit some of that flotsam and wreckage, and it pushed it up to the surface. And when it did that, that line cinched around this arm, and it pulled this arm up. It actually dislocated this shoulder and this thumb and pulled me up to the surface. And I watched all that from outside my body. And the three beings that originally greeted me were with me. My body got entangled in this wreckage, all twisted up with this wreckage, and as the waves were pounding on us, the wreckage in my body, it pushed a little bit of that water out of my lungs, and those three beings kind of pushed me back into my body. And so it took on, I understood that returning to life was of the greater purpose. And so I agreed to return to the body. And so it was, although it didn't feel like I really had a choice, it was like I really had to do, this was something that I agreed to, but I understood that there was a higher purpose, and there was no way I couldn't agree to.
It was like a purpose of coming into life.
Coming back to life, yes. And a lot of that purpose was revealed later in life. And is continuing to reveal itself. The purpose continues to reveal itself. And that's a lot of the joy that I find in life now, is allowing life to unfold and seeing the purpose as it unfolds, Because if you're awake to the interactions that we're having, and if you try to be a loving being in what you're doing, and if you, knowing what you've experienced, try to live with those edicts, you're still human, you're still going to fall down, there's something's going to get you angry about this or something like that, but not to beat yourself up. Okay, I'll do better next time, that sort of thing, and try to walk, I call it my quiet ministry. I try to walk through life with knowing what I've learned, and that I'm going to do the best I can, knowing that I'm human and that I'm fallible.